wanted to touch on the San Francisco Chronicle article on Dianne Feinstein, because this is actually nothing new. Jane Mayer reported this months ago, the great Jane Mayer. When the California Democrat in Congress recently engaged in an extended conversation with Senator Dianne Feinstein, they prepared for a rigorous policy discussion like those they'd had with her many times over the last 15 years. Instead, the lawmaker said they had to reintroduce themselves to Feinstein multiple times during an interaction that lasted several hours. Rather than delve into policy, Feinstein, who is 88, repeated the same small talk questions, like asking the lawmaker what mattered to voters in their district. They said, with no apparent recognition, the two had already had a similar conversation. 4 U.S. senators, including 3 Democrats, as well as 3 former Feinstein staffers, and the California Democratic member of Congress, told the Chronicle in recent interviews that her memory is rapidly deteriorating. They said it appears she can no longer fulfill her job duties without her staff doing much of the work required to represent the nearly 40 million people of California. It's bad and it's getting worse, said one Democratic senator. The person said that within the Senate, Feinstein has difficulty keeping up with conversations and discussions. Go on the record. All of these Democratic lawmakers who are too afraid to say what's actually going on behind the scenes, go on the record.
Out of nothing more than career preservation.
Yeah. And then you have this. This is like blatant career preservation. Talk about Alex Padilla, who replaced Kamala Harris as the junior senator from California. Padilla has known Feinstein since the mid-1990s when he worked for her briefly. I've heard some of the same concerns, Padilla said, but as someone who sees her multiple times a week, including on the Senate Judiciary Committee, I can tell you she's still doing the job and doing it well. Oh, thank you. How about this? House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, in a statement to the Chronicle, said she had not noticed a decline in Feinstein's memory and noted her work on the recent reauthorization of the Violence Against Women Act and the Supreme Court confirmation, which, we understand both rigorous tasks that are heavily mind intensive. Pelosi's covering her own ass there. Pelosi's up there in age. She doesn't want the same kind of scrutiny about her mental acuity. So it's just all of these like ancient ruling elite circling the wagons. And again, this is not about your age to an extent, right? But like this is to be expected when you're 85 years old and you decide to run for re-election for a 6-year term.
I mean, I think people should be able to expect that their representatives don't have Alzheimer's, and that if, in the extent that develops, that a party will do something about addressing the fact that we need representatives that don't have Alzheimer's. And the process to replacing her is simple. She retires and Newsom replaces her, as far as I know.
Yeah, well, luckily a senator is not an important position in government, right? That wields a lot of power. Maybe she's really low down the rung of powerful actors in the Senate. Oh, wait, if Democrats retain control of the Senate next year, Feinstein will succeed, retiring Vermont Senator Patrick Leahy as the Senate's president pro tem, putting her third in line for the presidency.
It's
third in line.
It's horrible as an actual situation, and it's also a metaphor for our political system at large.
Yep. These Democratic lawmakers that are speaking with her need to go on the record. This is there was a close call. I mean, it ended up not being that close, but with the California recall with Larry Elder and things like that, all it takes is some like crazy Republican surge or for some scandal for Newsom. He gets recalled. A Republican takes control of the California governorship. That's happened before in recent history. And everything could go haywire.
I mean, Ben Ray Lujan from New Mexico, who's like a 49-year-old guy, had a stroke.
Yeah.
And was out. So they delaying the KBJ confirmation hearing starting. So like it could happen anytime. Like there's no guarantee that she's almost 90. Like
yeah. I mean, it's just and it's sad. I'm sad to see that her mental acuity is at this point, and it seems to have maybe been precipitated by the death of her husband. All of this is very sad. Hope that she's able to live a comfortable life for the rest of her years outside of the halls of the Senate where she holds immense power.